Mrs. Norma Robinson. That's Mrs. Norma Robinson. She's a property investor. So when I was talking earlier on, she was like, oh, no more tax. Right. So she's been with us for a long time now. Did you have anything else to say, Mrs. Robinson?
No, I'm very happy with the service that
You're happy with the service?
I received from Candid.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Just Kids. Just Kids?
We're based in Sydenham. We are an out-of-school club. We've been trading for 2 years in January, coming. We collect children from local primary schools, and we also take them to school in the morning. So we offer breakfast from 7 a.m. to 8:30. After school club, we pick them up at 3:20, and bring them back to the club until 7 p.m. During the nearly 2 years, we've grown into, now we have a new site in Downham Leisure Centre, which is a children's centre. So it's a nursery, creche, and after-school club. So we've just taken that over in November. So it's a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment. Yes, so that's just a bit about Just Kids.
So, right, if you don't mind me asking, so where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
Well, it's
time?
funny, I'm sitting here now, and last year we only had one.
Right.
Now we've got two.
Right.
So it's funny, because
In 5 years' time,
in a year,
you got 2 in a year. 5 years' time, you could be having 10.
So we've got an after-school club that it took about a year to grow to full capacity. We now cater for 84 children a week in our after-school club. Last month in November, we just took over a new space in Downham where we're offering full-time childcare from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And since we've started, we've been there 4 weeks and we've already serviced 113 children. Our long-term plan is to open up a bigger nursery, a few more after-school clubs, but our ultimate goal is to open up our own school to educate the next generation of children. So we've been taking baby steps with the clubs and then the nursery, and the big one will be the school. Coming from an educational background, I've taught for a number of years, and Maxine's done informal education with the older children as well. So that's something that we're really interested in going into. And I would say next year, hopefully when we come, we'll have another venue under our belt as well.
Yeah.
And then when we make the 5 years mark, we might even have a school.
Yes. Why not?
All led by
And one thing I like about that we can all learn from, is their passion for what they do. And when I look at most of our clients, I see they thrive because they love what they do. I look at faces here and I know that these people run this business because they love what they do.
Everyone here is doing a lot of progression and a lot of growth.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, do you guys have the capability or the resources available to keep up with that growth? Because the school is a lot of responsibility. Children alone are a lot of responsibility. Businesses are growing, people are expanding, there's more going on. Do you think you have the resources available to do that?
He would just invoice you for the growth.
Oh, you're talking about us as a firm? Oh, right, yeah. We've discussed our growth. We're also growing. So, so we're looking after you well.
Yeah, he
Obviously,
advised
yeah.
us on what to do, because when we opened our second business, he was advising us whether we should open up as a separate entity or whether we should just have a different trading name. And then he kind of explained the tax side of things and what the cheaper option would be. But as we've grown, obviously now we've got two sites, we've got more employees, so that's
No, that too, but it's just like as you grow, it's another business and
Yeah.
another business.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's 6 businesses connected to one name,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
then 2 businesses connected to someone else's name.
Mm.
And It's a
Yeah,
lot.
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, when we get to a stage where maybe they're too big for us, then I'm sure we'll be giving impartial advice to them if we're not capable of handling their big business. So I see where you're coming from. It's a good point she's mentioned there. But you see what happens with growth when a firm of accountants is growing with a growing business. You've got to keep in step with the growth. And because you're having this regular contact, it gets to a point where you would know whether there's strain occurring, and then you deal with that. So hopefully we'll be able to handle them as far as we can.
But I suppose as we grow and everybody grows in your under your wing,
Yeah.
you grow at the same time. It's
Exactly,
growth,
yes,
isn't it?
so yeah.
But sometimes that growth wouldn't match up.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
mean, we
some
analyze.
businesses may grow too
Yeah, that's what the analysis, the consultations and analysis comes into play, and then decision making and follow that. Thank you. Mr. Sapalo, is that a very, very new and fresh client? It's as fresh as you can get. He's also shy. So, and you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
PCO driver. I just live close to the company area, the Candid office. One day I just passing away, and then I said, no, I've been for, I think 2 years, I never pay my tax, Iran revenue. I say maybe one day they will catch me. I have to go to jail or something. I went there. I just asked some advice, but they were explaining to me, and I was so happy the way they talked to me, the way they explained, and then later on they just done everything, they submit everything. I'm so happy with them, and they are excellent. So I'm very happy for this company. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. William is always here every year. She's old faithful. You would like to say a little bit about yourself, sir? Please. Okay. Encourage us.
Good evening, everyone. I am Basil Williams. I've been working in financial since 1980. Pension, mortgages, life insurance, investments. I've worked with some good companies like the Rothschilds. Latterly, I've had numerous medical conditions, so I'm not working as actively as I would like, but I'm still working maybe on a part-time basis. That is the sum total of it. No? Unless you want to ask me any questions.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, hold on to that, yeah. When we start to drink and dance, then you can exchange cards.
No, he might be legless.
Because I'm going to charge
He
him.
might be legless.
He's not going to be.
No,
He's a gentleman. It
I
doesn't go
don't
legless. It doesn't go legless.
indulge.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Mr. Williams. And, I know you're very modest. If any one of you would like, help and advice on mortgage, insurance, investments, really is the guy to talk to. And being one of us is a good man. He's been also a good backbone for Candid since for 2 years now. So when he recommends a lot of clients to us. So thank you very much. That's Mrs. Williams. She's in the commercial cleaning business.
Do you want me to
Please, can you talk about your wife? Please, if you can. She'll be happy you did.
My Joy Williams, she is probably more adventurous than I am. She came from a banking background, working in the city, so she took early retirement and got good payoff and set up a cleaning company. She was doing very well. She's still doing very well. She used to have a lot of the short start contract in and around Croydon. But as you know, this present government is phasing out short start. But there's still a lot of other companies which is like spin-off from doing exactly what you've done, with the support of the local council. So yes, she's doing all right. But one of the things that I listened to you talking about, which I have some problems with, some of her staff, she's got a very high turnover, and no disrespect, but a lot of them, what I call yardies, and they don't have the same, shall we say, responsibility towards their work. The commitment is not there, but you get a lot of lip. So that's why I admire her, because she's able to cope with all of that, which I would not be able to. And so all I could say is, yes, she's doing well, and I help her out sometimes myself. It's not easy. That's it.
There's a little addition that you didn't mention. I'm at liberty to mention it. She's a very charitable woman. You forgot to mention that, don't you? She gives out a lot of money every year to churches. We have Mrs. Railway Cafe.
My name's Yvonne. I run a small cafe called The Railway in Norbury. I've been there 13 years. When I first came on, I used to work in the city. I used to do high hospitality. I moved into Norbury and I couldn't find a decent cup of coffee. And, I thought to myself, something is lacking. So in between the time living in Norbury, going to work, I saw this little place and it just stood there needing TLC. Anyway, it was very difficult to find the owner of these premises. So, I just said, you know what, let me keep going to work. And anyway, after working in the city over 18 years, I felt it's time for me to do something for myself. So, one day, my company, I was going to take on a bigger contract for them. I went and looked at the contract. Somehow, I don't think it was for me anymore. And I remember going home, walk all the through Auburn and thinking, what's the best thing to do? Take some time out and consider what I really want to do. And in the end, I decided to take a year out. I still had this number in my pocket, walking around all this time. Anyway, eventually, one day, I used to do a lot of walking, thinking, spiritually, going through that motion. And I got there, I found the owner and went to see him. I said to my husband, I think I know what I want to do. I says to him, right, I'm going to bring Roy down and let's have a look at the place. I brought him in and he says, oh my God, what are you going to do with this? It was a shock to him because he couldn't see anything coming out of it. But when you have a passion and you have a dream and somewhere down that road you want to do something, someone is there working with you and guiding you through it. Eventually, I took the shop over and I've been there 13 years. And 13 years, you know, it's like it just happened yesterday. It gives me a lot of passion and enjoyment. And along the way, I've met some of the most wonderful people like Carol, Mr. Walker, families from Jamaica. But on the business side of it, you know, it's a Caribbean fusion where we introduce people from all corners of society and all corners of the world. So we do coffee, we do a sandwich bar, and we do the Jamaican cuisine. And if there's anything that they don't see, they just ask me and I will do it. I've had a good number of wonderful staff from all corners from Poland, from Jamaica. But as we were saying before about people, it's how you talk with people, how you present yourself. And above all, if you have staff, you've got to train them at a certain level. No matter how big or small you are, it is very important for your staff to understand, you know, you're here for customer service, to make sure that you can provide them with the customer service. If you haven't got the right thing, you can always offer them something else. And this is what we do at the railway. And during the 13 years, you know, with our business, you know, we've introduced all the technology like Instagram pages, which enables and enhances business people from all parts of the world, and engage them with pages of the Instagram so that they can see what we do. And also, Coca-Cola comes along and sponsor us for lunchtime deals with fridges, and also we've introduced contactless payment machines, which speeds up the payment process for us. And I find these things are very good with your business. Because, you know, we're living in a technology now where people don't walk with, and the young people, they don't walk with cash. They find it is not the thing anymore. So whether a cup of coffee costs $1.50 or a bottle of water, they will say, and I'll say, well, there's a charge of £3. They don't mind paying, so it's business for us. And in this climate, it doesn't matter whether it's 50p or a pound, it's business. And, you know, as I say, whatever we do as a business, you have to have the passion and the enjoyment. I keep saying I'm retiring, but they won't listen to me, will they, Carol? But you know, there's struggles. But also, this man here, he's been my rock on my bookkeeping.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You know, I found him when I thought I had someone who could take care of my tax return. But, you know, unfortunately, it didn't work. And from the day I found him, how many, over 12 years ago?
Yes.
He's always been there for me, you know. And Stanley, thank you so much.
I thank you. Every time I come, go there. By the station.
By the station.
Norbury Station.
Just as you're going into the station, yeah.
By the bridge, yeah.
You'll see it.